Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, your dog is pacing, panting, and its stomach is swollen. This may be a life-threatening situation for your dog.
Dogs that bloat, it can happen to anybody, any dog.
Our Inspector Planet is getting in the ring to show off an animal that packs a powerful punch.
We're searching for the quickest animal on Earth.
And, well, they may not be the most cuddly pet. Their quills may get in the way of that. But other than making sure you can handle them with care, can a hedgehog make a good pet? This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. It's a stomach disorder that can cause a trip to the ER for your dog. In fact, it was an emergency situation Zeus recently had, and he is lucky to have survived. Well, Dr. Holyfield, did you notice how calm I am today with you?
Much better improvement over the last time I saw you.
Well, we certainly made Friday the 13th stand out.
Most definitely.
Yes, that was when we met you. And of course, I came running in with my beloved Zeus, knowing we were in definite trouble.
Most definitely.
And so, what do you remember of that evening?
Well, Zeus presented as most of the dogs whose stomach is twisted presents. He was restless, little, not really agitated, but upset. He wasn't doing all of the things that we typically see, like the dry heaving and retching and that kind of thing, but he was headed in that direction. Fortunately, he was pretty stable in the grand scheme of things, so he wasn't as critical as some of the patients are that we see.
As you well know, everything happens after 5 o'clock.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we came running into you. When I say we, Zeus and I were right there. You are an emergency chief of staff veterinarian.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Why did you choose that?
I kind of fell into the ER scene, and it's I'm not going to say it's fun, but it's rather interesting because you just never know what's going to show up, and it's keeps your attention. It's challenging, but it's you know, when you have a patient that's not doing well and you're able to do what you do and then they get better, that's you know, the rewards are much bigger, I think. And so that's what keeps us going.
Certainly keeps you on your toes.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Now, bloat.
Yes.
Most of our viewers are not familiar with the word bloat, but the scientific medical name is just as daunting as the actual ailment. Tell us what bloat really means and what it does.
What bloat is its real name is gastric dilatation and volvulus. And all that means is that the stomach swells up with air and then it flips. And when it does that, it cuts off the blood supply to the stomach, and sometimes the spleen is involved. So now it's kind of like if you put a rubber band on your thumb, you're not getting the blood flow there and the tissue starts to die. If you can get it turned back over soon enough, then you'll get the blood flow starts again, and then the tissue recovers, and then the patients get better. But if you wait too long, then part of the stomach and or the spleen will actually die, and then you have to take the spleen out, or you have to do what's called a resection of the dead part of the stomach. And that, when the patients get to that point, the prognosis is not as good, and they typically stay in the hospital a little bit longer. Sometimes a lot longer. It just depends on how much, you know, how they go through the surgery and the recovery and the post-op and all that. It can happen to anybody, any dog. But typically your large, narrow, deep-chested dogs, your shepherds, your German short-haired pointers, labs, standard poodles, standard schnauzers, the list goes on. And And there's not really a cause per se, but what happens is that nervous dogs or dogs that are anxious, they fret, what we call it. They're just on edge all the time for whatever reason. They have a tendency to develop it more so than the dogs that are laid back, you know, like your typical bloodhound, for instance, or your hound dog that just kind of lays around. But it can happen to anybody.
Zeus is here with us today and he's enjoying a great life once again. So I must thank you especially and your staff. You were magnificent. You kept this person very calm when I was bouncing off the walls to say, save my baby, and you did.
Well, it's truly a team effort. It's not just me. I mean, I've got the receptionists, the technicians, you know, myself, the other doctors that were there when I wasn't there. It's truly a team effort. And, you know, and I appreciate the kind words, but it wasn't just me. It was the whole team.
Well, Zeus and I thank you and the team very, very much.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You know your dog, and when I saw Zeus wasn't acting right, I knew something was wrong. Know the signs of bloat. If your dog is panting, has a swollen stomach, is drooling and pacing, it may just be a situation that needs immediate attention.
So I think I'm pretty fast, but what animal is way faster than me? Coming up next.
Over 90% of the seafood that is coming in to this country is raised in areas of the world that don't have the highest standards. And so our approaches are aimed for two things. One is to help feed the world. The second is to do it in an environmentally friendly and sustainable way.
Every dog deserves a lifelong, loving home. Dante's Den provides a pristine, comfortable haven for dogs that have been abandoned or surrendered by their owners. We ensure every pup in our Joyful Dogs adoption program receives lots of love and attention, is properly immunized, spayed or neutered, and is in good health. Prospective pet parents undergo a thorough adoption review to ensure a lifetime of love and care. Find your new furry best friend at Dante's Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call us at 941-219-3730. Dante's Den, continuing the love. Science is everywhere and it's all around us. It's observing the world and forming questions and the willingness to find the answers. It's something our Inspector Planet does every day, and you can too.
My name is Dr. Tracy Fanara, research scientist and environmental engineer. At Moat Marine Laboratory, I use investigation and experimentation to answer questions.
All right, I'm training and I am getting so fast. But how do I compare to animals in the animal kingdom? What is the fastest, most efficient animal in the world? Technology is pretty amazing. We have these smartphones that can tell us a number of things. And this one right now is going to tell me how fast my arm is moving. It's called acceleration, which is the change in speed over time. So basically, if my arm is moving at the same rate, that's going to be a zero acceleration, even though I still have something called velocity or speed. Now, acceleration is how much faster it's getting from the get-go, and that's going to be where the power is, where I can strike that balloon. Okay, let's check it out. So my acceleration got up to 13.2 Gs. Now, I think that that's pretty darn good, but the truth is, there's an animal that I hear that can get up to 10 1,000 Gs. That makes me look like a snail. Probably even less than that. I'm a rock. See this guy right here? Well, this isn't your average shrimp. This is a mantis shrimp. It's actually a stomatopod. This marine crustacean has some of the most powerful pound-for-pound punch in the entire animal kingdom. Depending on the species, they catch their prey using their appendages, which act like either a spear or a club, producing a total knockout. So where is this guy from?
This particular peacock mantis is from the Indo-Pacific. There are over 500 species of the stomatopods, and he is just one of them from over there.
Interesting. And we also find mantis shrimp in Florida as well.
Yes, and we have one here at Moe as well, and that one uses a spear instead of a club like this guy.
So what is the coolest thing that you have learned about mantis shrimp?
I think the coolest thing is their spearing and clubbing.
What do you think is more effective, the spear or the club?
The club.
Yeah?
Because I think their prey is more sessile, and then they can come along, club it, drag it back. Versus the spear, it's might be in the water column, and there's a smaller area of target they have to hit.
The reason why the mantis shrimp is able to reach those accelerations is not because of the muscle in the bone. In fact, that wouldn't do it at all. What they actually have is like a spring system in their arm. So when they're ready to release and catch their prey, boom, there it goes. That's how they get all of that acceleration and speed in their arm to catch their prey. The difference between the spears and the clubbers is how they attack their prey. The spears hide in the sand and they wait for a fish to jump up and spear. But when it comes to the clubbers, they just go out and club the heck out of bivalves, like shellfish, like clams or mussels. So their prey is different, but none the same. They're still crazy good predators with crazy amounts of speed and force. I put 2 glass bulbs here, kind of like how the clubs get thicker at the end. Now, this was done in about 5 minutes right before this video was taken. This one over here has a spear-like thing. This was actually a recycled item from laboratory equipment. So this one is going to act as our spear, and this one as our clubber. So let's break some shells and pop some, well, balloons. Boom! Pretty amazing, huh? That is efficient. Not as efficient as a mantis shrimp though. What mantis shrimp have that no other animal in the animal kingdom has is the ability to reach the accelerations and velocity that they do. If someone calls you a shrimp, take it as a compliment. Remember guys, anyone could be a scientist or an engineer with some passion, hard work, and innate curiosity of how the world works.
Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, hop on board as we're exploring an extremely unique ecosystem and discovering the animals that live there. Estuaries play an important role in the health of our environment overall, and there are a lot of animals that are essential to the well-being of this unique and often overlooked ecosystem.
As a biologist for Sarasota Bay Explorers, our job is to narrate the experience and make it fun for people so that they can learn and they're interested in learning the health of the bay and the animals in it. And the goal for us is to make it meaningful enough to them to where they're inspired to take more action in helping their environment, helping our environment. We really try to bring people to a different level of consciousness so that we're making a difference in the world. 1, 2, 3. We actually threw a trawl net out into the water and we caught some animals. We are permitted to do this, so we have permission to use this type of net and to collect these animals. I see some fish. We do release them at the end of the day. So no grouper sandwiches, no crab cakes for anybody. One of my favorite fish that we ever catch is the striped burrfish. This fish looks like it's straight out of a cartoon. It has so many ways to defend itself. Its first defense are these really sharp spikes all over its body. It can also puff up like a pufferfish or a blowfish. So if it feels like it needs to defend itself, it'll blow all the way up, and that keeps big predators from eating them because they're too big to swallow or even fit in their mouths. They also have these spots all over their body called false eyes. And false eyes or pseudo eyes are beneficial because usually a predator trying to attack will go towards the area of the eyes because it's closer to the brain. And if they have these false eyes in different parts of their body, that can trick the predator into attacking the wrong spot. So the animal might not get injured to where it's lethal, or they'll get enough time to swim all the way away. Along with all the animals and plants that you might find in your backyard, you might also find trash. Trash, like plastics, are often found where wildlife live, and they can mistake it for the things that they normally eat. So Take 3 for the Sea is a worldwide hashtag going around so that we can help save these animals and prevent them from eating it on accident. Take 3 for the Sea means picking up 3 pieces of trash on a daily basis, and working as a team, we can help clean up our environment and prevent these animals from getting hurt because of our mistakes with our trash. That's Take 3 for the Sea. Take 3 for the Sea. Take 3 for the Sea.
Stay with us. There's much more Animal Outtakes coming up next. Every dog deserves a lifelong, loving home. Dante's Den provides a pristine, comfortable haven for dogs that have been abandoned or surrendered by their owners. We ensure every pup in our Joyful Dogs adoption program receives lots of love and attention, is properly immunized, spayed or neutered, and is in good health. Prospective pet parents undergo a thorough adoption review to ensure a lifetime of love and care. Find your new furry best friend at Dante's Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call us at 941-219-3730. Dante's Den, continuing the love. Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org.
This is a hedgehog.
With more than 5,000 quills, they certainly don't look like an animal you would cuddle up to. But hedgehogs can make good pets and can actually be pretty affectionate.
They make excellent pets, honestly, just because they're kind of like a sugar glider as far as when they bond with you, they don't want to leave you. So once he gets used to you, they don't even usually ball up. And then they love to be held, they love to snuggle, and when they do fall asleep, they don't fall asleep with their quills all spiky. They do fall asleep all nice and cuddly with you. And when you're trying to get them used to bonding with you and everything, you can put like a worn shirt that you don't really care about in there, and they'll start getting used to your scent a little faster. They're nocturnal, so they sleep during the day and are awake at night. But they do also kind of get used to your schedule, so when you're awake, they'll kind of start getting used to that as well. Their eyesight is horrible, so they use their nose mostly. So as you can see, he'll walk right off my hands and has no idea. They run about 4 to 5 miles a night. Yes, so you have to have the wheel. They're very active, and then they do eat a pelleted diet, plus they love their little dried mealworms. They live about 15 to 20 years. And they do make just really awesome pets just because they're super social and they just love to be held. They're really awesome and they're really fun.
Over the years, we've encountered thousands of animals, and as you can imagine, they can be pretty unpredictable. And sometimes things don't go quite as planned. Interesting as we drove.
I'm sorry, I was trying.
The whole train coming through.
I was really trying to maintain, and you were doing great with the wings, just saying.
I just showed you the one and only scary one. Would that make you feel better?
Just tell me what's in here. That's all. Just tell me what's in here. That's it.
Another animal is the Steller sea cow. These big dogs. Okay.
Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, ho, ho, ho. It's our what?
Ho, 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 it's our holidays. Come on, Marcia.
Intriguing world of what? Of metamorphosis?
Metamorphosis.
Okay, I thought it was meta horses. Okay.
Metamorphosis.
Okay. Zoos aren't just a place for.
Rosie, you're so sweet. I'm not scared, it's just funny.
Where's your smile?
Good girl. I don't know what kind of noise that was. I'm so sorry.
That'll be a blooper.
Hey, Devin.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Safari likes to puff up like a toddler and kind of put her back to you. She just wants to see if she's going to get a reaction.
Thank you, Stella. That was sweet. Ooh!
You're okay.
Okay.
You reacted just the way she wanted you to. It's expensive to treat, and that's what usually deters. Deters.
When you deter someone from something.
And I've been pronouncing it wrong all my life. May have been the first domesticated animals. So does this mean?
All right, Marcia, you stay where you are.
I'm not moving, unless I gotta move fast. Oh my God. Okie dokie. All righty. Well, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm losing it. Oh, wow.
They love the hair.
They love the hair. No, they love the hairspray.
Perfect. It's much more pleasant to you than that cockatoo was.
Because what you're going to do is you're going to put peanut butter all over you.
They always get my hair. There's nothing like coming home, opening your door, and having a 60-pound dog like Zeus.
I wasn't sure.
Are you kidding me?
I didn't know this is what I meant to ask.
What's your going rate now? 90. He's 90. Okay. Woo! What did you want to do?
What is that supposed to be?
What's it supposed to be?
Owl.
So woo!
Hold on.
Okie dokie.
might have gotten in the way.
Yes, it might have. Now, if you bring a, I was gonna say if you bring a horse in. Okay. We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. We'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching.